Alright, you guys, I highly suggest just getting up and getting it. Don't be lazy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. My name is Red, and today we are going to be working on the Trx4m. Some pretty simple stuff today. All I have today is a servo and maybe a servo tray, because I already have a servo tray in there, but I'm going to see which one I like better because it's a little different. And then a new servo horn, and that's it, man. It's going to be a quick, simple one today. Alright, you guys, if you had seen my previous video, you'd see me working with conformal coating for the first time. If you haven't seen that, be sure to go back and check it out. This servo really didn't need much waterproofing at all, you guys. I mean, it's really built well. It's sealed up really well. I don't have many complaints with it. I haven't plugged it into the car, obviously, but so far so good. I did waterproof what I could, but there wasn't much to waterproof, so hopefully this is all the way waterproof. Then we have a servo tray. I do believe I already have one of these servo trays in there. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure, and then I don't know, we'll see which one I like better, which one's looking better, and we'll go ahead with whatever one I like better. Then we have a servo horn. Super simple, you guys. This is just an upgraded servo horn. Anyway, you guys, you know, super simple projects today. It's not going to take long, so let's dive into this stuff. Don't forget, if you want to learn how to waterproof your electronics in your RC, if they ain't 100% waterproof, go back and watch my conformal coating video. Alright, so first we got to start off simple, guys. We got to take off your body. Alright, we got the body off, so now let's dive into taking the servo off. This is super simple, you guys. First, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to flip it over, and you're going to take out the screw to the servo horn. Take that out. Okay, now that's nice and loose. We're going to flip it over. And then there's two screws, front and back, on your servo here. Go ahead and take that out there. Okay, now we have the servo out. You can go ahead and just leave the servo horn on there, whatever. You got a new one, so we don't need that. We'll get rid of that. We are installing the Endura 11 kilogram servo, and this will be like my third servo in this truck. I did burn through the Emax that I just installed in the Jeep. So after burning up that Emax, we went ahead and we're going to try something new. We're going to try the Endura servo. And hopefully, you guys, this one really takes the cake, and hopefully this one really holds up. So let's go ahead and get that out of there. I'd have to say, my first impressions on this servo is, I mean, it's awesome, you guys. It feels heavy duty. It looks like it was built with quality. I did try to open this up and waterproof what I could, just like I did with my ESC and servo from my Jeep. And there wasn't much that was available to waterproof, so I did what I could. But overall, this is built really well. The gears inside are metal, and they look stout and tough. It looks like it's going to hold up. Alright, now that we have the old servo out, I was inspecting the tray. I do have an aftermarket tray in there, but it ain't as cool as the Endura one, I guess you could say, because the Endura one does have the name written on the side of it. Got a little bit of chrome you can see shining through with the black, and like I said, it's got the name on it, so it's a little more eye appealing and whatnot, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap those out. Another easy swap. So for that one though, what you're gonna have to do is you are gonna have to take off the front tire, and then there is a screw back behind here we're gonna get at, which is gonna take the main screw out of all of our linkage. Our servo tray should come loose. We'll swap it, put everything back together. Let's start by taking our front tire off. All right, now that we have the tire off, there's a screw right here, and most of the times you can get it without taking the shock off. But I mean, if you'd like, you can take your shock off and go ahead and move it out of the way and give yourself a little more play. I'm gonna come down in here, and I'm gonna take this screw out right here. Slide Get the big old screw right up out of there. Okay, then after you get that out, you guys, you're gonna want to come through right here and get these latches free on each side, and then your servo tray will come right up and out of there. Simple as that, okay? So now we're gonna take out that one, and we're gonna swap it in with the Enduro one. Then you're just gonna reverse the process. Make sure you put it in there the same way you took it out. So you have that attached there. Now you're gonna have to go ahead and get your linkage back in its proper location, and then go ahead and slide in a new piece of hardware. And then go ahead and tighten her down. Now you guys, don't forget, on these small scale RC cars, we do not have to tighten our stuff down really hard like you would a bigger scale vehicle, okay? Snug it up, don't strip it out, and you don't want to tighten things too tight to where it's going to cause strain on your vehicle, drivetrain, motor, or anything like that. So just don't over tighten your stuff. Now what you're going to do after you have your tray in place and your links and everything put back in, we're good to go. You're going to get your servo out. And then what I like to do is I'd like to take my servo and I like to plug it in, and then I'll turn everything on and I'll see where my servo lays at rest. Because then I'm going to install my servo horn in that location, so that way I know that it is close to straight, and then once I put everything back together, I can go ahead and I can fine tune it with my steering trim to really straighten her out. Alright, so now that we have our location set and we have our steering horn on, you guys, I do recommend putting some Loctite in here. I don't have it on hand for this video right this second, so we're going without today. See what happens. Then go ahead and place your servo back in. I'll do it again for this angle so you can see that again. Swoop it up in there just like you took it out. Put it right back up in there, you guys. Simple as that. And then we're going to go through right here. And we're going to, I have a couple of washers I can put on this. We're going to attach our steering linkage to our steering horn. After, of course, you put in your two steering servo screws. Okay, you guys, now that we have our servo in, our screws in, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come up to the bottom and see this. I mean, you don't want to force it up like that. So, Enduro does send couple washers to go on your screw. What you're going to have to do is get these two little washers in between your steering linkage and your steering horn, and then go ahead and feed your screw on there. Let me go ahead and get that done and I'll show you what I mean. The steering linkage and the steering horn. You don't want to screw that up in there to where it's on a real bad angle, you know what I'm saying? To where it's pointing upwards or downwards. You don't want a lot of stress. You want to try to have that level as possible, you know what I mean? So, Enduro does send spacers with it. I did go ahead and add one of them spacers to this, and I think that's going to be pretty well where I need it to be. I'm not going to need any other spacers. I would suggest, again, to get the Loctite out, you guys. Get the Loctite out and Loctite this stuff. Alright, now that the servo is back in, the servo horn's on, the links are connected, you just put your tire back on, plug it all in, and you'll be good to go. Alright, you guys, I highly suggest just getting up and getting it. Don't be lazy. I'm back. I had to tear the Bronco back apart to put the Loctite on because my conscience just wouldn't let me do it. So, yeah, you guys. I was going to skip the Loctite because I was just being lazy. I didn't want to get up and get it, to be honest, but my conscience wouldn't let me do it. I had to get up. I had to get the Loctite, so I had to tear it apart to add the Loctite where we needed it. Lesson learned. Just do it the right way the first time, you know what I mean? Alright, you guys, so just like I said, fairly simple job today. Really quick and easy servo swap. Servo tray swap, servo horn swap. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug it all in, and moment of truth, make sure everything's all good. Remote on, in. A little jump from the servo there. There it is. I mean, pretty nice. Nice response. Put our body back on. Alright, you guys, there you have it. Like I said, simple repair, simple swap today. Now we have a super awesome new servo tray, new servo horn, and the Bronco is back up and rolling. Alright, so there it is, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, maybe even learned something. If not, you can learn something from my mistakes at the very least. And please, I hope you smash that thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next one. Servo looks good in there for real.